Hi, good morning. So a little bit about me. Okay, I come from a town called Calcutta, and I'm born and brought up in a Marwadi family. Traditionally, and as quite a few of you guys might know, Marwadis are known for be traders, right? They love their trading. Jo just lack of better term, dhanda. So that is what they love, and so when in class 8 or 9, I mentioned that to my folks that I want to take a science and I feel like doing something in electronics, engineering. So somebody said, "Beta, tu mechanic banega." So to Marwadis, engineering meant mechanics or you are a construction worker. So that was the definition that we are talking of 96, 97. By the way, there was no Google that time. So engineering happened more for me as an escape mechanism to leave Calcutta to explore something more, and SMIT became the gateway. Over the past, after SMIT, 13 years, I've been a corporate junkie till last year. So I've worked 12 years across telecom operators, Reliance, Hutch, Vodafone, PricewaterhouseCoopers, and in my last role as a corporate junkie, I was a marketing director of a telecom operator in Dubai. And then something happened. I said, it's probably time for me to take a deep dive, and Nischint happened. But I'm not going to, since my career has that been, I'm not going to talk about startup. I'm just going to give you today a very simple perspective. And this is probably a question which I feel would resonate with an audience here. Where is the grass greener? Everybody says the grass is greener on the other side. When they're corporate side, go for the startup. You're going to be, I don't know, the next Vijay Shekhar Sharma or the next Nikesh Arora, and you're going to make lots of money, correct? But is the corporate side also equally good enough? Does something like that excite you? So before we actually even go into it, let's just define what is a corporate, okay? And since I have done my MBA, so I'm going to take some liberty of giving you some gyan, okay? And thanks for them providing you notebooks and pens. So guys, let's define corporate. Can you please guys take down your notebooks, pens, start writing? No, it's very serious. It's a very serious thing. Please, can you start writing? So a corporate is the most common form of business organization, and is started by this, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and all that you wrote is crap. Okay. I mean, this is something which, I've been blamed since my engineering days, and in a lot of organizations. I'm trying to oversimplify things. I don't know why, but I'd like to, because I am little mentally challenged, I like to simplify things. I think a corporate exists for this word. Bottom line, revenue, net revenue, EBITDA, revenue after tax, revenue after royalty, all those jargons can stay where they are, but a corporate essentially goes for profit. Obviously, there are a lot of not-for-profit corporations and organizations as well, but 95%, 99% of organizations would go for profit, right? So this is what this is what basically an organization, a corporate is, right? Startup, and now this is very serious because this is not being defined and this is original. So can you please start writing again? Arey, main mazak nahi kar raha hu, please start writing. So startup is basically a startup, and if you have written anything, that's again crap. Because the definition of a startup lies in the word. If you just reverse it, it's get up and start. So the question comes what, right? Get up and start is good advice. Go get a job is a great advice. But what are we? And on hindsight of whatever 12 years that I worked, I came to the conclusion, at least my personal opinion conclusion was, there are two types of people that we can talk about. It's this and this. What I'm calling them as the hunter and the farmer. Okay, why do I call them? A hunter is typically a corporate. I've already told, a corporate goes for profit. How does the profit come? It comes by a target. Target is what the sales guy gets. And by the way, at no point of time I'm offering an opinion that a hunter is bad. A hunter is a fantastic, and mind you, I'm going to underline that with font size 42, bold and italics, is a fantastic skill to have. And I'll come to that in just a moment. But let me for a moment come to a farmer. Do we all know farmers, what they do? I'm not talking of the increased suicide rate, by the way. I'm talking of the real farmers. They spread out a land. They cultivate. They plow. They reap food, fruits, whatever. And the farmer has a couple of skills which is very, very attractive, that is called persistence and perseverance. Persistence and perseverance. So let me take a step back and tell you a story of a farmer today. Has anybody heard of this jewelry company called Pandora? Girls? Pandora bracelets? Okay. Maybe it's not that, it's actually just coming up in India. It's more prevalent abroad. But so Pandora jewelry was started in 1979 by a Dutchman called Per Insolvens. I'm sorry, I don't get his surname very clearly, but let's call him Per. His first name is Per. So in Copenhagen, what he started doing is that he started importing jewelry made in Thailand to sell here. So in 2000, he got an idea that what can I do with this jewelry? Why does my customer buy once and then come back and buy another piece? Why can't I make his jewelry experience or her jewelry experience an incremental one? So he came up with the idea of the Pandora chasm. And what it was is a bracelet. Now what that bracelet did is that you could actually add small beads to it. And these beads, he connected to a social event. So let's say you got married, you put a bead in. You got, I don't know, highest marks in 10, put a bead in. You topped in a subject, you put a bead in. And so you go to the Pandora shop and buy a bead. And every bead becomes significant of your life event. Sounds like a good idea? Anybody for good idea? Voting hands? Who thinks it's a good idea? Wow, amazing. By the way, the same pair was told 72 times in 3 different countries by venture capitalists that this will not work. Nobody is going to buy a bracelet. Why would, again, people want new stuff, right? I mean, having been married for 8 years, try giving your wife same jewelry or same design again. You know, it's not going to work. So why would people put a bead again and again and again? But the 73rd guy invested with him and took a risk. Today, Pandora is the 3rd highest selling jewelry brand in the world. 3rd highest, Cartier Tiffany being the first 2, 3rd highest. So the point I'm trying to drive, and coming to the farmer again, is that as Per did, you had to have that kind of patience. You had to have that kind of persistence. You had to have that kind of belief to go for such a long time. To hear 72 times no is not easy. Trust me, I hear a lot of no's. But it's not easy. And to still believe in this thing is what we are, is what you make of, is what the difference of a hunter, farmer, or whichever way you look at it. So let me come to the next thing. We've answered the what, who. Okay, now the next image. Okay, now that I have all the girls' attentions here, I'm very happy. So let me give you an example which will be very, very, who are you? Are you the art or are you the artistic? Okay, there is a lot of difference. It is as different as chalk and cheese. You can be the art, and I call the art a very loose, a synonymous word to talent. Talent breeds ego. Okay? Talent breeds a very certain kind of ego that is very unfathomable by the outer world. Let me give you another just diverse example. Australian Army, and people from the defense background probably would know. They look at resumes of people, whom they want to take or whatever they want to take for training. You know what is that one quality that they look for? They look for the person if he has failed. A person who has failed has a much stronger attitude, has a much, lower ego. I think actually after failure it becomes zero, ego becomes zero. So he knows how to develop the art, how to fail with the art, how to redevelop it again, and how to keep it in check. So the art and the artistic. So let me come to the second side of the thing, the artistic. The artistic, just like the farmer, is the guy who probably has a little bit of skill, but he puts the canvas again. And that is something which the startup do. They build a kind of environment, they try to build a kind of ecosystem where they invite a lot of artistic guys or the talented people to come in. So that's the platform that they want to build. Anybody heard of Ritesh Agarwal? Okay. Anybody heard of Oyo rooms? Oyo? Some users here? Okay, I had the opportunity to hear him in Delhi 2 weeks back. 21-year-old guy went across to solve just one problem, that he wanted to travel and he wanted to stay in the best properties. And just like in college days, you don't have much money, you don't have much pocket money. So he used to go to this place called Manali in North India. And every time, what he used to do was that he used to look for, go to a bungalow, and because traditionally people keep their farmhouses and outhouses there. And he would go just around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, because by that time, nobody has booked the bungalow. And that night would anyways be going for waste. And he would get it like really dirt cheap prices of 300 rupees a night and 400 rupees a night, and he would be living at luxury bungalow or whatever, enjoying the property. And he painted that idea into a canvas, got people to work for him, not only with him, but IITians to come and build a platform that every budget hotel today in the country, mind you, he has I think 2,500, maybe 3,000, I don't know, around 52 cities, is now getting converted into a great property where people can stay for less. He had an eye, but he actually became the artistic and painted a picture. So after we've done the who, why? And I come to these two things. And in my humble opinion, whoever, wherever in life, personal, professional, you are either the vitamin or you're the painkiller. So what do I mean by that? So before that, let me tell you my small story. We are seniors, so we age. We don't have as young legs as you. So our parents start worrying about our health, and you start gaining weight, and my wife started worrying about me that there's just too much time spent. So I'm sure she already concluded to the fact, and like any partner would do, is that you are short of vitamins. Without any blood test, she's the doctor herself. You are short of vitamins, so here it is. I'm keeping this on your table. Multivitamins you have to have every day. I said, come on. I mean, I'm traditionally never used to just popping up pills, but you need to have multivitamins. I said, okay, if that's okay. Added 1 day, added 2 days, 3 days. But there was never a need, right? Or at least I did not feel the need. So from the 4th, 5th day, like any other habit, you would forget it, right? So I started forgetting eating my tablets. No big deal. Life was fine. She stopped putting a check. That was fine. And then my mom was visiting me, and she had this, a severe knee pain. And even if she did not have a knee pain, she would keep on popping this pill called Combiflam. And it's some kind of pain relief resistant or a painkiller kind of thing. And she kept on popping this pill. So I used to give my mom, are you feeling the pain? Why are you having this? No, it will come. Let me have it. I said, why are you having this? No, it will happen. I know it, I know my system, it will come. So, I mean, all parents react that way, right? She kept on having this. And then one day, both my multivitamin tablet and her painkiller bottle were kept side by side. And that really got me an idea that why do we do things what we do is either be a vitamin or be a painkiller. So now, just to draw a corollary, corporates primarily are vitamins, and they take you as vitamins to fuel something. And as the saying goes, nobody is indispensable. So if you join a corporate, a vitamin, you being a vitamin, by the way, which is a very great thing. Vitamins are definitely important. And so they train you to become a vitamin. But a startup, you exactly think of being a painkiller. Just like vitamins can be forgotten, a painkiller becomes an indispensable part of your system. For 12 years of my life with marketing and sales roles in telcos, I had been enough of vitamins. I used to bundle and make those voice and minutes packages, those data packages, bundle with handsets, talk with operators. That was my role. I mean, essentially driving more market share was my role with telcos. And I realized I was a vitamin. Probably a good vitamin. It helps people. It even makes people to come back for more vitamins. But I was not a painkiller. And that's where Nischint stepped in. And I thought, yes, by this, I feel I'm solving a pain. And that's when, probably my painkiller moment came. When I said that there has to be a solution to it. Solutions did exist. It existed in various forms in US, went down a research about finding out in India. Nothing like that really appealed or existed in very, very small things with antivirus companies. So there had to be a solution. And that's when I thought that probably in my own way, from a Nischint perspective, we could contribute that why we do something we do is to solve a pain and a painkiller. The point I want to tell you, my friends, is that decide where you are, the vitamin or the painkiller. Okay, so we covered what, we've covered why, we're going to when. Okay, and this is where the when to go for a startup, and when to do a corporate. And by the way, if you note those points, that was also crap. So I come to a very interesting example from one of my favorite authors called Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about one rule that really changes and really makes the greats the great. So right from the Beatles to the Tendulkars to the Michael Jacksons to the Bill Gates, everybody, he did a research over those 40 years, and he came down that how much effort should you put in to become a great. And he came down to a numerical value, which was called the 10,000 hour rule. A 10,000 hour rule. So what it says is very simple thing. If you do an activity for 10,000 hours, you are bound to become expert in it. Imagine if I were to give you a quadratic equation here, you would be solving with left arm, small finger, आधे नींद में हो गया, right? Because you've done that for 10,000 hours, right? Similarly, when you want to start for a corporate, the answer was given by Naveen here. It's now. To emulate a corporate environment, you have different clubs. You have extremely talented people who can organize, implement, ideate, present. That's exactly what an organization does, a corporate does. Start now. And a startup. Okay. So I'm going to go a little bit, I'm going to differ with Naveen Bhaiya on that, is that you have to do a lot of things and you have to think about it and you have to go in various stages. Nothing like that. If all that is crap, you go with this one word. It's called gut. If you have a gut feeling that this is going to work, start up now. Get up, go with your gut feeling, go with your conviction. By the way, when we say that, doesn't mean just go blindly with it. Do your checks and balances in place. But what we really want to do is go by the gut. And as Jack Welch puts it, Jack Welch is historically the most successful CEO in the corporate history of the world. He was the CEO of GE, and he wrote this great book, and it's really recommended that you should read that, From the Gut. So it has to come from inside, that I really feel about this idea. I'm vitamin, painkiller, hunter, farmer, doesn't matter. I feel this idea should be there. And the same gut can actually go with a corporate. I used to love telcos. In fact, my elective was a telecom thing, and that was the first year that SMIT offered that. I used to love being telcos because I realized that the power of connecting people, by the way, I'm not stealing that from Nokia. It's a shut company already. So the power of connecting people was too motivating for me. So it came from the gut. Obviously, like passions change, that changed over the years, and something else, it transformed into something else. What do we expect? So I had great plans when I quit, you know. Thanks to my wife for great support, she continues to work. And we said that, okay, you know, 6 months we'll be launching the product and this will take the market by storm. Another 3 months we will run it free and then we're going to make tons of money. You know what happened? None of them got right. Everything that was expected to be, or at least planned, envisaged, and as someone was saying in terms of Excel sheets, went absolutely down the drain. And everything went really south. And that's where probably, you know, the expectation that you do with yourself, expectation that you do with the environment, expectation that you do with colleagues. I mean, I was there for 12 years in telcos with various companies that I mentioned. And I thought I had really good contacts. I could rely on people helping me. You know what happened? Couple of months leaving my job, nobody would pick my call. They wouldn't recognize me if I met them in a mall. Then you learned you need to really stream down your expectation. Get your ego down, start from scratch. So the point I'm trying to say is that expectation, you know, it's best to be to be corrected at a very early stage. So I'm coming back to my topic, corporate ladder versus startup. So where is the grass? And you guys really want to know conclusively, what about the grass? What is the color of grass, by the way? Green. Are you sure? In this context, I'll tell you my conclusion, what is the color of the grass. It's this. There is actually, in this context that we spoke about, corporate ladder versus startup, there is no grass, there is no color. It's the color that you put. It's the lens with which you look at the grass. It's the outlook that you develop towards a corporate or towards a startup. Guys, I'm not offering any kind of opinion that you should be doing this or you should be doing that. You should be going the corporate route or you should be doing the startup route. The call is yours. And find your internal call. Find whether you are the vitamin or the painkiller. Find where you are the hunter or the farmer. This is your call. And don't get blinded. Don't get pushed into something that my friend is doing this, so I should be doing this. My entire group is taken, computer science, so that should be the best stream I should take. Go try out another stream. So one thing that I really liked about what Naveen Bhaiya said, and I actually really feel it very strongly. I was speaking to one of your juniors yesterday. Because of this entire ecosystem, and like he said, I would hire a BCom, and actually I rejected 2 MTech people and hired a BCom guy who had, and this has really happened. I would actually think that a BTech course should be actually 3 years. It should be par with any graduation. At least from that perspective, you come into the same level and you don't breed that ego. So guys, this is my talk. This is as impromptu I could have been. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks for being such a great audience. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.